If we weren't both fighters, absolutely. I could see myself being friends with him in a different life. But when you both know that you are, there is even the smallest possibility that at some point we may fight, a friendship could never be formed. And even though, when I met him in that gym 10, 12 years ago, I don't know how many years ago it was, I was obviously cool with him. We shook hands, we spoke, we would have spoken, but I can't be friends.
Chris Eubank Jr. just dropped a bombshell that redefines his long-standing rivalry with Conor Benn. In a surprising revelation, Eubank admitted that when they first met in the gym years ago, he actually saw the potential for friendship, but chose to shut it down. Why? Because even then, he recognized what few others did. They were on a future collision course. He made a cold, calculated decision to pick war over warmth. Two young lions, sons of legends, face to face. While Benn may have seen a fellow fighter, Eubank saw a future opponent. No smiles, no handshakes, no emotions to compromise the fight when it inevitably came. That steely mindset laid the groundwork for one of the most intense rivalries in modern boxing. Now, the time has come. Legacies, pride, and everything in between are on the line. Eubank's laser focus has brought him to this defining moment. But will that heartless discipline be his ultimate edge? Or will Conor...
He had too much to do and too much to prove. But he's done it. He's an undefeated fighter now. He has, he has a fan base, a big fan base in boxing. So now the fight makes sense. Now the fight is being demanded by the public.
Benn tear down the wall and rewrite the narrative? Eubank isn't holding back. He's made it clear why this fight had to happen now. In his eyes, Benn wasn't ready before. Too raw, too many doubts, too much noise. But that's changed. Benn has remained undefeated, silenced the critics, and rallied an army of fans behind him. The anticipation isn't just real, it's explosive. This isn't just another fight. It's a mega showdown, a spectacle the boxing world demanded. And for Eubank, timing is everything. Benn has finally earned his spot, and now there are no excuses, no question marks, just two elite fighters ready to settle a score years in the making. This is more than personal. This is war. Here's the real twist. Has Conor Benn's rise truly prepared him for what's coming? Or will Chris Eubank Jr. rip through the hype and send him crashing back down to earth? The countdown is on, and this clash has become unmissable. If you're hyped for...
I think Chris is leaps and bounds ahead of Conor. His experience, the guys he's been in with, take away the weight, because, Chris is obviously going to be disadvantaged in there with the weight as well. But just ability, boxing skill set is on a completely different level.
The fight, smash that like button and drop your predictions in the comments, because fireworks are guaranteed. Meanwhile, Harlem Eubank isn't mincing words. He's all in on his cousin Chris, claiming he's not just better than Benn, he's operating on a completely different level. This isn't just about size or power. While the headlines focus on weight cuts and physical advantages, Harlem sees the real difference in experience, boxing IQ, and ring generalship. Chris Eubank Jr. has stood across the ring from elite fighters, battled through adversity, and proven he can adapt and endure under pressure. Benn, despite his knockout power and highlight reel finishes, hasn't been truly tested at that level. He's explosive, no doubt, but Harlem questions whether Benn is ready for the kind of chess match Eubank Jr. brings to the ring. Sure, the weight cut may put Chris at a physical disadvantage, but Harlem isn't sweating it. He believes Eubank's mental strength, technical precision, and ability to make adjustments mid-fight will tip the scales in his favor. This isn't just about who punches harder. It's about who can stay
I think with Chris, this is purely business. This is purely business. I don't think he quite likes him very much.
No.
But I'm telling you now, it's a good thing that Conor's in Spain. Because imagine them two bumping into each other on London High Street on a Sunday afternoon.
We don't need that, do we?
No one needs that, no one wants it, but it's inevitable. So you literally have to navigate your way through these camps and keep these two boys away from each other, because
keep the lid on.
I've been there with this kind of animosity, and I've been there with this kind of domestic rivalry. It eats away at you. It's not nice.
No.
It literally eats away at you. It's on your mind daily. And you just, it gets to it's an intense.
Posed under fire. Who can outthink the other when it counts, and who rises when the lights are brightest? In Harlem's view, that man is Chris Eubank Jr. Adding more fuel to the fire, Tony Bellew has weighed in, and he's not sugarcoating anything. To Bellew, this fight isn't about rankings or pay-per-view numbers. It's raw, personal, and dangerously emotional. Years of tension are boiling over. This isn't just boxing, it's war. There's absolutely no love lost between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn, and Tony Bellew paints a chilling picture. This isn't your average boxing beef. It's raw, real animosity that can't be faked and won't be forgotten. Bellew even warns that if these two crossed paths outside the ring, it could spiral into chaos. The hatred runs that deep. But what hits even harder is Bellew's insight into the mental toll rivalries like this can take. He's lived it. He knows how personal grudges can become psychological time bombs, eating away at a fighter's focus and control. When the pressure finally explodes in the ring, it's not just a fight, it's a war. Bellew doesn't expect a tactical chess.
There's no honour in smacking someone with an egg. Shouldn't have happened.
How do you think the fight's going to play out?
I'm backing Conor Benn. I know Conor. Spoke to him a few times. Always been a top bloke to me. His dad's a top bloke. His dad's a legend, and I'll be backing him. But it's going to be difficult, as he's already alluded to, the two weight divisions coming up. But it'll also be difficult for Eubank to stay within that hydration clause, I think it is. So it's all to play for both.
Match. He predicts an emotional battle driven by ego, pride, and vengeance. The only real question: can these two keep it together until fight night? Or will this vendetta explode before the bell even rings? Meanwhile, Johnny Fisher isn't staying quiet. He's fully backing Conor Benn. But this isn't blind loyalty. Fisher's support is built on conviction. To him, Benn is more than a legacy name. He's a fighter with the heart, fire, and grit to carve out his own greatness. Fisher's had deep, meaningful conversations with Benn. Not just surface-level banter, but raw, honest moments that revealed a man obsessed with proving himself. He's seen the mindset, witnessed the grind, and believes Benn is ready for the biggest stage. In Fisher's eyes, this isn't just a chance for Benn to win, it's a chance to make history. Johnny Fisher isn't sugarcoating anything. This fight is a monster of a challenge. Conor Benn is moving up 2 full weight divisions, a bold move by any standard. While the world watches Benn's rise, Fisher flips the narrative and questions whether Chris Eubank Jr. can handle the pressure of the hydration clause. That, he says, is the wild card, the X factor that could break Eubank mentally and physically.
So, yeah, I think the difficulty for Conor Benn in this fight is the weight and is the size. I think he's a better fighter. And I think at a natural weight class, he's a big favourite in the fight. But coming up 2 weight classes, it makes it a 50-50 fight. And you ain't going to...
This isn't just a grudge match. It's a legacy-defining moment for both fighters. Benn brings heart, fury, and a raw hunger that can't be taught. But will that be enough to overcome Eubank's size, experience, and proven power? That's the story waiting to be told. Everything is on the line. Who breaks? Who rises? One thing is certain, the storm is coming, and only one will be left standing when it clears. Meanwhile, Eddie Hearn is sounding the alarm, and he's not pulling any punches. In his eyes, Conor Benn is walking straight into a nightmare matchup, not because of a lack of talent, but because of the opponent in front of him. The real threat? Size. Pure, undeniable size. Jumping up 2 weight classes doesn't just level the playing field, it flips it completely. At his natural weight, Benn could have entered this fight as the favorite. But now, the risk is astronomical. Hearn sees this as one of the most dangerous tests of Benn's career, a fight that could elevate him to superstardom or end in heartbreak. Either way, it's high stakes and high drama. This fight is a gamble of the highest order. Chris Eubank.
Conor Benn is an animal with a hot head. And as soon as that bell goes, you've only got to watch Nigel Benn's fights and Conor Benn's fights in his career so far to realise he's going to set about him from the first.
Jr. isn't just bigger. He hits harder, moves with force, and can absorb punishment Conor Benn has never had to deliver before. The deeper you look, the more the scales tip toward Eubank. The physicality, the endurance, the sheer size advantage, it's all in his favor. Benn won't have the same sting in his punches at this weight. He's not fighting on equal terms. One wrong angle, one mistimed shot, and this fight could be over in seconds. Make no mistake, this isn't just a boxing match, it's war. Both men carry dynamite in their hands, and once the first punch lands, the game changes. The real question is, can Benn rise above the odds, or will the weight drain his power and leave him vulnerable to a brutal finish? This fight is a ticking time bomb, and when it explodes, there's no going back. Eddie Hearn isn't pulling any punches either. In his view, Conor Benn is walking into a nightmare. It's not about talent. Benn has plenty. It's about size. Jumping up 2 full weight divisions isn't just risky, it's downright dangerous. At his natural weight, Benn could have been the favorite. But now, the tables have turned. Eubank isn't just the bigger man. He's stronger, more experienced, and more durable. Kieran echoes that same warning, but adds another layer. Conor Benn is a storm. He brings pure aggression, relentless pressure, and fire from the opening bell. It's not boxing, it's war, Kieran says. Benn doesn't wait. He charges. A legacy of fury burns in him, just like his father before him. But will that fire be enough? That all-or-nothing style is a double-edged sword. It can overwhelm opponents, but it can also backfire. Against someone like Eubank Jr., who has size, strength, and composure, wild aggression might not be enough. Benn can't rely on instinct alone this time. He'll need precision, patience, and strategy. He has to channel his fury into something controlled, something deadly, not reckless. Because this fight isn't just about power, it's about control, discipline, focus, and in a battle this personal, with emotions running high and legacies on the line, that difference could be everything. When the storm hits, one man will rise, and the other could fall hard.